You so much for joining me. I'm Eric Tolman, and we're going to talk about the winter weather coverage. It's going to be active for the next couple of days. I'm going to pinpoint all of that. What I'm going to actually talk about is all the active weather that's been going on. So let's go ahead and talk about the models for our Monday forecast. So we'll focus on that because there's a lot to that. But first, I wanted to tell you that that system that we had in our neck of the woods that's already gone past us has actually moved farther towards Canada and the Northeast. You can see that. But right behind that, we actually have another system out in the Midwest that is going to be headed in our direction. So there's a lot of areas that are seeing no activity whatsoever, so that's actually a good sign at this point. But don't get used to that because that is going to immediately change when I show you the other models as well. So it's actually going to be quite tricky. So be prepared for the next round of snow, and yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Please stay tuned. I'll be right back with the rest of our Monday's GFS forecast, and then we'll focus in on the rest of the forecast during the day. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like if you like my content. Please give me a thumbs up, and comments are welcome as well. So if you leave me a comment, I will respond to your comments. If you have any questions in regards to this upcoming system that's coming up, if you want to know if it's going to snow or whatever, please let me know. I'll be right back with the rest of our forecast. So it's going to be a very active scenario once we get this going. So we'll be right back with the rest of our GFS models for our Monday forecast and what to expect for your Monday and Tuesday. And thank you. I'm finally back. Okay, so you can see on the GFS models currently that there are areas that are not seeing any activity at all. So things will remain fairly quiet, but as you can see, way out in the Midwest, right over there, that's actually the next approaching storm, winter storm that we're going to be dealing with. So it's getting a lot more interesting. I had to go back to get the updated GFS models. So I'm going to tell you, we're dealing with one storm system after another. So there may be times where we're going to have some that are back to back. So that's the only tricky part about this whole thing, and for the remainder of the rest of December. So that's the other thing that will be very interesting as well. I'll be right back with the rest of the forecast for Monday and your Tuesday. We'll be right back right after this. Please stay tuned for the very latest forecast and latest winter weather coverage as well. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more. And I am finally back with more. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk more about what's happening. So for the rest of our GFS models, I'm still rolling through the Mondays, and then we'll get to Tuesday. You can see that there's still snow, a very snowy pattern that's still continuing in Canada and Ontario and parts of the Northeast. You guys are seeing some of that, a little bit of rain-snow mix, a little bit of freezing rain to contend with over in that section. But overall, there's a lot of areas that are not seeing any active weather, but that is going to change, unfortunately, because there is the next winter storm, the next weather maker that will be making its move across the Midwest. and it will be headed towards Michigan. So be prepared, even though that we're getting a break from all the action and things are fairly quiet and things are improving. Be prepared for the next round of snow. This is the next snowstorm that is going to be on the horizon. So stay tuned. I'm going to continue to track this forecast into Tuesday. So we'll be right back. And as you can see on the GFS models, that this system continues to move and push across the Midwest. You can see that it is getting more interesting. You can see that the snow, that there's actually a lot of snow that's going to contend with this. And way down over here, there's a little bit of sleet and some rain with that. But you can actually see that the storm system itself is starting to march its way across the Midwest. And it's not going to be very long before Michigan gets hit again with another round of it. Please stay tuned. I've got more coming up right after this. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining me once again. I'm Eric Tolman. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you more about this. So you can see that the storm continues to muddle on through. It's actually going to continue to track across the Midwest, and it's going to be impacting Michigan as well. So that means upper Michigan, that would be like Wisconsin and all of that, and then western Michigan as well. So you can see that that band of snow is going to be making its march, and it's going to continue to keep going. So it's not going to be very long before we start seeing more snow, and then I'll tell you more about the Pacifics and how much snow that we can get out of this system. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. But I also want to tell you that way over in the Northeast, there's not really a lot of activity in certain spots, but we'll be right back with more. Please stay tuned. I've got more coverage right after this. Thank you. We'll be right back. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry for moving the camera around like that. Okay, so this is still models for Monday's forecast. You can actually see that the snowstorm is actually over top of Michigan, so that means that snow is going to begin to develop on Monday for sure. Snow is expected on Monday for Michigan and southeast Michigan and our viewing area, so snow is going to be developing on Monday for sure. I can tell you that right now because even in the upper peninsula, they're going to be seeing that as well. So if you live in like Ohio, as well, you guys are going to be seeing that as well. And then there's actually a little bit of a rain-snow mix going on down there, so you can see that the weather is quite active, mostly in Michigan, and then this section down in here is actually seeing some active weather as well. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the rest of this forecast. And thank you so much for staying tuned with me for the latest winter weather coverage and severe winter weather. We'll be right back. Please remember to please subscribe, like. If you like my content, please give me a thumbs up, and comments are welcome. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much for joining me once again. This is actually our GFS models for our Tuesday. You can actually see that the snow is actually going to be sticking around in our area. You can see that there's sections right here in Michigan that's going to be seeing it. Northern Michigan, you guys aren't going to see a lot of the action. In the Upper Peninsula, you guys are still going to have snow sticking around, but you can actually see that this snowy forecast and the front of the storm is actually making its move and expanding into parts of Ontario, Canada, and then going towards the northeast. And then there's a wintry mix that's going on farther towards the northeast, so there's a lot of action going on as well. I do appreciate everyone staying tuned for the latest forecast and developments on the waves on our winter weather season and all of our potentials for winter storms. I'll have more this afternoon and more coverage. Please come back and join me this afternoon at 5.